Everything is fueled from me wanting to be a better person on earth.
It's time to do your part.
Oh, welcome back, everyone. We are introducing some youth to the show, finally. I'm ecstatic for our next guest. We're talking to Solange. She's a friend of mine. She lives here locally, and she is just, you do so much for somebody your age. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm, again, ecstatic and excited that you're here, and I'm happy. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. You know, I called your mom a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
And I asked her, and she was like, I don't think it'll be a problem, but obviously let me ask her.
Yes.
Meaning you. Why did you choose to come do this?
Well, you know, I definitely feel like we all need to do our part for a kinder world, for a better world. And I feel like since I am youth, hopefully with anyone listening out there, my words can reach someone and really impact them to do their part and to be kind and to always look out for others and always to do the right thing.
So with that said, what are some ways that you do your part? Because I know that, like, you could probably take hours answering this. But for some of the teenagers or people out there, what are some of the ways that you do your part?
I mean, I would say simply being kind. I mean, sending someone a kind message is like, could brighten someone's day because, you know, you never know what anyone's going through, how they're feeling, even if they've had the worst day. But if you're like, hey, I was just thinking about you, really miss you, and don't forget you're worth it. Or just like kind words or kind gestures, or maybe taking someone out for ice cream one day, just to make them feel good and make them feel like they do have worth. I mean, I think that's a very easy way to do your part, especially right now with all this social distancing. So anything, being kind, really.
You mentioned self-worth. Do you think that's something that people are lacking nowadays?
Well, I mean, I definitely feel like it's something that needs to be pushed more. I don't really think that people take the time to know their worth and know that, like, you are enough and you are worth it. I really think that that's just kind of pushed away right now. So I feel like that's definitely something people should remember, that they are worth it, because everyone's worth it.
I know that my mother instilled confidence in me, so I never questioned my self-worth. I mean, you know, I wavered from time to time, right? We all go have dips. But who do you attribute that to, or how are you so attached to the idea of that?
Definitely my family. Definitely. My family always has my back, has always pushed to have self-confidence on myself and to never let people's opinions about myself bring me down, because I know who I am and what my worth is, and to always be confident. So definitely my background really has helped me have that confidence in myself.
And this is what makes you so unique for somebody your age.
Thank you.
Yeah. But do you understand that? You get that?
I get it, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
You.
I mean, it's kind of hard to see yourself, right? Sometimes you need other people to tell you what's going on. So you mentioned family. We're talking about self-worth. Paint us a picture. Tell us a bit about your family, your backstory. Tell us about who you are.
All right. Well, I am Solange. I am adopted. I was born in 2005. I was a foster child for about 2 years because I was born not in a hospital. So when I was picked up in an ambulance truck and taken to a hospital, there was no proof of my birth. So there was no proof that I was born. So there was really no one to have eyewitness that I was born. So I was a foster child for 2 years until my mom was able to, you know, track down the EMT who did pick me up and ask him to be a witness that I was born. And he did pick me up, you know. But my mom has fostered over 1 million trillion. Who even has a number of how many kids she's fostered?
Wow.
So some of them we fostered, and some of them have stayed behind with us. So have become a part of our family. But they've been with us for, you know, it's good to have a big family and just, you know. But then I started when I was a little bit older. I got into advocacy and I got into speaking up for the rights of others.
Which is how I met you.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe it was 7 years old or 6. Correct me if I'm wrong. I was put by my mentor, who sadly did pass away from a hate crime out in Palm Springs. His name was George Zander. He put me on the back of a pickup truck and asked me to speak what was on my mind and why I was out there and why I felt so strongly about, you know, people getting to be themselves and people, same genders, wanting to love each other and marry each other. And at such a young age, you know, I like really understood that because a lot of my uncles and aunts fall under the lines of LGBTQ, so I've grown up with LGBT family. And I feel as if no matter what gender you are or how old you are, if you love each other, then I mean, you definitely have the right to marry and want to spend the rest of your lives with each other. I don't think just because, you know, you're the same gender or doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to love someone, because my uncles love each other, and I definitely think they have the right to be married and loved, and they have 3 amazing children who they have raised amazingly, and I love them. So I definitely think it's fair to, you know, get to be yourself and not have to be afraid.
What I like about what you just said is I think you used the word love like 10 times.
Yes, because love is the real factor here.
Right.
I mean, if you love someone, it doesn't matter. If you love someone, you should have that opportunity to spend your rest of your life with that someone and not be like, I can't get married right now because it's the law and no one appreciates LGBTQ, or a lot of people feel scared to come out about themselves and be like, hey, I am LGBTQ, because they don't know if they're accepted. And I mean, to ever live in that fear of not being able to be yourself, I mean, scares me.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I couldn't imagine just not being able to express myself and feel afraid that no one, you know, would have my back.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's important.
I've been there, and I remember the fear I had, especially when I was around your age, as far as dealing with my sexuality.
Yes.
I will say the cool part about that, and I'm going to stretch on this at another time, is that it forced me to do the work on myself, self-reflection, even at a young age. So
Yes.
at the end of the day, that's also a confidence builder.
Oh yeah,
you know,
definitely.
just a little bit about my past right there. So you and George Sander had a really close relationship.
Yes,
Wow, I never knew this.
He really was my mentor. He started my advocacy. He's the one who got me started. He put me on the back of that pickup truck, and ever since, I've always had a big mouth. Since before I could talk, you know, like I sang, my mouth was constantly moving, so it's good to put it to some use.
You're funny. Let me ask you
Right?
something. So when he put you on the back of that truck, were you nervous? Or because when I see you talk, you don't seem to be nervous.
I just started talking.
Right.
I just grabbed that mic and kept going and going and going. And, you know, I felt, then as I got older, I really realized, like, wow, I really just did it.
Yeah.
Like, I just sat there, stood up there, and said what I felt like I needed to be said. And I've been doing that ever since I was younger, still to this day. And I love, if it wasn't for him, which I thank him so much, because I love it. And this is something that I never would want to have that opportunity taken away from me, because, you know, not everybody can speak up for themselves and, you know, have that, you know, platform to, like, stand up and be confident. And I feel like since I do have that platform and those, you know, energy, I can help other people do that. So I love that I get to use my voice to help other people who can't use theirs.
And this, again, is another platform for you.
Yes.
And we're going to roll out many more. Viewers, listeners, if you like what you're hearing, we're going to link you onto her Instagram or some sort of stuff. But
Yes.
the thing I love about you is that you're a powerhouse. Again, if you see her fit for anything, reach out to her. We want to hear her voice. We want to see her and see more of you. Again, I go all over the place in these conversations.
I feel you.
With that said, what do you want to be? What do you see yourself doing in 10 years?
Well, you know, I have, like I said, when I was younger, I started with advocacy, and I really, once I got older, I really got into politics, and just, you know, feeling that also does really tie into just feeling strongly about something and not giving up on it. But I'm also, like, crazy a lover of performing arts and singing and dancing. So I definitely want to do something in the performing arts industry, 100%. But I also really want to shoot to someday live in the White House and become president, because I love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that. I think that definitely can happen if you just say, I will.
Oh, yeah.
I am. It's going to happen. All right. Vote for Solange. Look, if you need a campaign manager, I might be a little old, a little rickety at that age, but you call me. I got your back.
I call you.
I got your back. And so with everything that's going on and all the just drama that's going on, how do you stay so happy and optimistic and hopeful? How are you able to keep your eye on wanting to be the president when you see that the government is like so just in shambles right now?
I think definitely never giving up, never losing hope, faith, and definitely just, like I said, being strong, having a good background and family who has supported me since day one definitely helps, because they keep me in the midst of like, hey, like relook this and make sure you got everything. So once in a while I look back at everything I do, and it just reminds me of like how good that day felt. Some of my videos from advocacy and singing and stuff like that for women's rights, LGBT rights, many, many, many rights I have spoken up for. A lot of those videos are on YouTube.
Nice.
So once in a while, I love to just go back and listen to it, and sometimes I tweak myself, like, oh, I didn't say that right,
well,
or, like...
That's normal.
Yeah, so I like to just go back and see, and, keep it going, that, like, hope that once this is over, I'll be able to get back into everything. And
yeah, well, you're in it right now.
Yeah.
You're still in it, just by being here.
Yeah.
So I want you to talk in detail about some of the situations you're talking about, some of the situations where you were public speaking. Tell me what they were for, what happened, what you spoke about.
Well, one that I've spoken on, this main topic I've spoken on since I was young, has been my main topic forever, is LGBT rights.
Okay.
I've spoken, which if you haven't already I've spoken on it to make sure that everyone has the rights, no matter what gender you are, no matter what sexuality, as long as you love each other and, you want to spend the rest of your life with each other, I definitely think you should have that right and shouldn't have it taken away from you just because someone else decides to hate on it. Everyone should be equal. I definitely feel that. So
you're darn right.
Yeah.
Where did you have this conversation?
I've had it a lot. I've
Because I know the Human Rights Campaign, you spoke once at the HRC event.
Yes, I did. I spoke at the garden party, I believe it was.
Was that at Barry Manilow's house, or it might have been the year after? It was a year after. But this is like one of the biggest events of the year here.
I spoke in front of over 600 people, is it? I
was there watching you.
Yeah, I know. It was crazy. I can't even remember, like, I went up there being so nervous, and I was like, I don't know what to say, because it was like, me, this little kid.
You killed it.
Yeah, and it was so many adults, so I'm like, what am I going to say? But I went up there with confidence and just having faith in myself, and I did it, and it was so much fun that I just wanted to stay on the stage and keep talking,
Well, that's that performing artist in you.
Yeah.
And again, that's all in part as to why I have you here today. You're so impressive to watch anybody be able to public speak at any age, but especially at your age, and do it with such confidence. So HRC, there was a garden party. I've seen you speak at other events. Can you name a few other? Like, I know that Buddha Bullying is huge for you.
Oh, yes.
Talk about that.
Oh, Buddha Bullying is the best organization I have ever been in. Buddha Bullying,
Dimitri,
we love you. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dude.
Yes. But Buddha Bullying, they had a annual talent show out here in the desert called Desert's Got Talent, but it's for the desert.
I know a little bit about that.
So I auditioned for it, I believe it was 2017, about 4 years ago when I was 11. And I auditioned for it with him. He was their president and co-founder of it. And Chris Bennett, who has also played an amazing role in my life. She was the musical director, and I auditioned with I Will Survive. And I got in, and I ended up singing I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston, and I came out on top with, may I say, our favorite MC ever was you. And oh my gosh, it was so much fun.
That was
I remember
a fun experience.
I love it. The one thing I remember about that night, like, it's so crazy that's the one thing I can remember, is when you said, come out here, and you had your hand up to see how tall I was, and I absolutely met that line. And it was so funny that you can predict my height like that. It was so funny.
That's one memory you have of that day?
Oh, that's like probably the only thing I remember of that day. And then taking pictures with my sister, because my sister and I did compete together.
Yeah.
So it was amazing. I met him later on that year. I became what's called a Youth Girls Ambassador. Since I did experience bullying when I was in elementary school, when I was a little bit younger. So I kind of had a backfall and understood, about this organization. And that does go with confidence and how strongly I felt about it.
Yeah.
So I've been with them ever since. I get the opportunity to go to many, many different schools, from all in the Coachella Valley, I believe. But we've gotten to speak over the 19,000 students, I believe it was.
Jeez.
19,000?
You might as well round up. That's 20,000 people.
Yeah, we spoke to over 19,000 students. And when I tell you, it's the best feeling ever to just sit there and be like, hey, this is what I've gone through. This is how I overcame it. This is what I did. And I'm giving you guys these tools to help you guys stand up. And, you know, we really are giving them a platform to stand up and be like, hey, what you did to me was not okay. And this is what I'm going to do about it. And just getting to see their faces when they feel like, when they talk about it, and then they talk about what they can do to make it better, and then just seeing them about how much better they feel and how they feel like, I wish I had this to, you know, help them get through this. I wish I knew this organization way when I was younger, because it's amazing. I mean, the work they do, the fundraisers they do, they're just amazing. I love them so much.
It's not they, it's you.
It's us.
Well, it's us.
It's us.
I like that. It's us.
Fierce army. We're amazing. And then our VP, Cassie Skirbo, which she's amazing as well. She's an actress, singer, and she comes out to help us out sometimes with some, you know, high school speeches, because we guard to kinder, elementary, middle, high school a few, because you know, it's really more where it hits middle school, where you're transitioning, like, oh, I'm out of being a little kid, but I'm soon gonna become a high schooler. You're just kind of in the middle there, which I feel like really hits. So
is that when kids are most bullied, is then? And also, do you find that the kids that you're speaking to, that they're actually retaining the information? Do you think this is working?
Oh, 100%. 100% listening to kids, because also talking about, when we talked about LGBTQ, a lot of kids that like really warm my heart is because a lot of kids get bullied, but not from school. They get it from home. So a lot of things from home really reflect on them and become very negative. So when you tell someone, like, hey, when, like, it's very easy to tell someone, just tell someone, just speak up. But if you're receiving bullying from home, you know, and you end up receiving it from school, who are you supposed to talk to?
You know what's crazy? Wow. I don't think people ever consider that.
Yeah, it's like, who do you talk to? You can't just tell someone, talk to someone, because it's like, I can't go home and talk to them because it's
happening
me,
at home.
But I can't go to school either.
Yeah, my niece was telling me just last week, she shared a story with me about how her brother bullied her in front of a group of people, and it really messed her up.
Yeah.
And this happened like 8 years ago, and she was still starting to tear up when she told me this past week, and I said, you need to talk to your brother about this.
It's words. Let me be honest with you. It's actions can hurt.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, actions can hurt. Physically hurting someone and embarrassing them like that in front of anybody, or especially just to them in private, it hurts. But when you tell somebody words, I can tell you, I've met adults with this organization who still to this day do not remember the actions done to them, but they remember the words. And the words people call you, because you retain that, and you remember if someone calls you ugly or things like that, then like when you're feeling down, then all those words just shoot back into your brain, and it's like, I was called this and this. You don't really like remember when you're feeling down, like, oh, they hit me or this. It's like, it just brings you down.
So how do you deal with bullying? I mean, I would imagine because you're confident, people probably know who you are. You're gorgeous. I don't think people are really going to try to bully you or come step to you. But do you still deal with bullies?
I mean, I don't. Definitely, I think it has to do, like I said, with my home, but with this organization. Because I've always been confident, but they've given me more confidence to just believe in myself. And anytime I see anyone feeling down or sitting alone at lunch, I have left my group of friends and been like, hey, I don't know you, you don't know me, but like, let's sit down and have lunch together, you know. But I don't really receive any of it anymore, because I mean, we've done these presentations at my school, and you know, when you're a high schooler and you're speaking in front of seniors and everything, it's kind of like, oh my God, I know these people.
It's
like,
a lot of pressure.
Like, I have to go to school with them. It's very weird. So, but definitely just being able to speak and having this platform helps a lot.
How was your sister, by the way?
Juliet? Oh, she's amazing. Let me tell you, I love my sister so much. We have our nugs here and there,
as we all
but
do.
she's amazing. I love her. She's the big sister I look up to. Definitely can talk to about everything. She's doing, sadly, she's doing her college online here at home with us, which really sucks. She doesn't really get to experience that, but she's doing wonderful. She just got a job at Blaze Pizza.
Nice.
So
holla holla. Yeah.
But
go name drop at Blaze Pizza. Is she as savvy as an advocate as you are? Does she have interest in any of this stuff, or is she on something different?
She's definitely into singing. Like,
Gotcha.
she can sing. I sing I know we're both fluent in Spanish
Uh-huh.
because of our background. My mom's Argentinian and my dad is Mexican, so we've grown up speaking Spanish. But she can nail any Spanish song you give her. She nails it.
Wow.
Me, I'm like, I might need a week or two to work on this, but Spanish songs, she's amazing. She's really good. I mean, I definitely get to learn from her and get insight from her. And going into high school, I get help because her freshman year of college is my freshman year of high school.
Oh, I see.
So her
Gotcha.
sophomore year, yeah. But
Yeah.
I wish I would have been able to go to college maybe one year, but it doesn't work. But she's doing great. She's
Good,
amazing.
Good. I had to ask. This is interesting because as I want to know more about your background, I just remembered that you're 15. So that we very well could have already finished that topic up. Is there anything that you want to include about your childhood or upbringing or home life or anything?
I mean, I live a great life. I am one of nine siblings.
Wow.
Yes. So like I talked about foster. Hey, mama. Like I talked about foster. 7 of amazing siblings. Like I said, you do have your fights and, oh, you're annoying, but I am 7. There are 7 children that are adopted into our family thanks to our parents. Wow. And let me tell you, sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I was an only child. You get on my nerves.
Yeah.
Like get out of my room. But it's like you're never alone. You're never bored because you always have those siblings. And, you cherish those siblings for different things. Like you go to this sibling for this, I go to this sibling for this, and I get insight from you for this because there's many different roles they play in my life. Like, my little brother Jordan, who's 8, he's like the baby of the family, and I've babied him since he was little. So anytime he needs a big sister or someone to go to, he has me. He also has his older siblings. He gets scared at night when he has nightmares. And he crawls into my bed. So, sometimes when I'm like, I want to sleep, but then it's like, what, that sister side of me is like, it's okay. Yeah. So sometimes I'm like, come in the bed, and sometimes like, I'll handle it. Go back to your bed. So it's like.
Either way, 40,
he sleeps.
Well, he sleeps, but 30, 40 years from now, he gets to look back on these great memories with his sister, and that's what it's all about. You seem to, again, you're very mature for your age. You seem to have a very clear understanding of what gratitude is, and I think for me, I didn't really understand what gratitude was until like last week, but no, not really. But it took me a while to really understand that.
Yeah.
So what are your plans for your parents? How are you going to, you express gratitude to them daily? Like, what are you going to do in the big picture? Do you want to buy them a big house or like...
Close your ears.
Uh-oh.
Just kidding. My dad has talked about this. What car is it he wants? He wants this one car that he's wanted forever. And he tells me a Mustang.
A Mustang?
A Mustang. And he tells me, he's like, you're going to do big things. And when you do big things, you're going to buy me this car.
That's
so I've
right.
always had my mindset on buying him that car. And my mother, I tell her, because let me tell you, my dream car is a Jeep.
Okay.
A Jeep, a 4-door Jeep that's black. Oh my God, let me tell you. They know everything about the Jeep because of me. I love it. Anytime I'm like, Mom, I want a Jeep. And she goes, yeah, we all want something. I want a Learjet. Do I have it? So maybe if I come up with money, I can buy you a jet. But I don't know where
When you come up with money.
But
and I had to ask, I know for me, growing up, I was not adopted or fostered.
Yes.
And so I was always like, Mom, you have to do this. And you brought me into this world. So, there should be food in the fridge. And I should have a car that you need to buy me. And I was always entitled. But
well, sometimes, let me tell you, just because we're adopted doesn't mean anything. Sometimes we're like that. In my perspective and all of my siblings' perspective, there is a difference to me between a mother and, a person who has a child. Because like in all of our cases, our biological, we call them an oven, our biological oven, they had us, but a mom factor is someone who raises their child and loves their child and is there for you whenever you need a shoulder to cry on. And that's really the role they have played in our lives because they got me when I was 19 hours old. So they are my parents. They're my family. Yeah. She's my mom. She raised me. She's loved me. She's been there for me. She'll be there for me when I have my first heartbreak. That's just what they're there for. And I feel like a mom really plays that role. And I'm glad that, I was placed in this home and I got to stay because I couldn't imagine life without them. Who knows where I'd be, They're so amazing. I love them.
I know your mom, and she amazing is one word to describe.
One
She's
word,
She's very, very unique. She's
my
very
dad,
unique.
too. I love my dad.
Good people.
They're awesome.
Really good people.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And again, I mean,
course.
everybody has their own story, and some people, I have friends who were adopted or fostered, and just as you mentioned, it's not about blood; it's about love.
No,
It's about
yep.
day to day, and that's it.
100%.
Tell me about this. So this, you might be a little too young to answer this question, but as I got older, I realized that there were certain daily practices I needed to do or use to be able to keep me focused. Is there anything that you do daily that keeps you either sane or focused or excited or anything like that?
Well, let me tell you, I hold a national and world champ title in karate.
Oh, whoa.
And so do my siblings, all the way down to the 8-year-old, the 2 13-year-olds. We all do karate.
Okay.
So we've done karate since we've,
So glad I
we
asked.
grow up. That's our other home. So, we travel to do tournaments here and there. And that right now, due to the pandemic, we only have class Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Normally we would have it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, sometimes Monday. But that is something that sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to go, because sometimes you just want to stay home, eat chips, be on your phone, do whatever. But I mean, definitely I look forward to it because my sensei has an amazing sense of humor, always makes us feel comfortable. He has us on our butts. He's very good with self-defense, and it's like another place to go. That's like, it's weird to say, but it's like another home because I've grown up with him since I was 6 or 7. So I mean, he's seen me from there to this, and it's so different to see. I am a belt away from a black belt.
Whoa.
So yeah, we earn our belts based on our based on what we learn, based on our attitude, because you can have the worst day ever. In our sensei's words, he says, you can have the worst day ever outside of my door. But when you walk inside of that door and take 1 foot in my dojo, you better have a good attitude. So we've always, it's always kept us a little attitude check, sometimes. So.
Sounds like you have handfuls of mentors. Do you mentor anybody?
I mean, a mentor really.
I know your younger siblings. You obviously do.
Yes, I wouldn't necessarily take the title of mentor. I definitely do not think I have earned that title at all, and I think I have a lot to learn before I'm even close to earning that title. I have definitely helped be a platform. I believe could be a good word to help everyone and be there for them when they need me. So anytime anyone has any problems, they text me and they're like, hey, can you talk? And I'm like, yeah, and we talk out their problems and help them out. But I hope one day to earn that title, mentor, but I definitely think it's going to take me some time.
And it comes with age too.
Yes, 100%.
You're still in your teens. It's like you can't go around mentor somebody your age,
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about some charities that are close to your heart, because we talked about Buddha bullying. I mean, again, we talked about LGBTQ. What are some charities or some organizations that are really important to you that you would never say no to?
Well, there is this one organization that, let me tell you, Buddha bullying has given me so many opportunities, and I love them for that. But this one organization has given me many opportunities, but this opportunity that sticks out to me, I know you know them. They're HRC. Yeah. Right? They gave me the opportunity at 14 with my dad to travel to Washington, D.C., right? And lobby in the House of Representatives, which is freaking crazy. I stayed a week out there with my dad. What? Yes, and we connected with HRCs from all over the world. All over the world. We had people coming from everywhere, every aspect. Everyone was... there were many people who were of different color. It was awesome to see that. I got to lobby because in the Civil Rights Act, it does not include LGBTQ rights. Right. And we, as a group, 100% felt strongly that LGBTQ rights deserved to be included in that because it's not fair, So sadly, it did not pass. But we are going to continue to fight till it does pass. Did
you actually speak?
I did. I took folders for people who sponsored us and folders we went into their room. You know, one of the guys, his name is David Lottie, who I love him so much. He what's it called? He did the first like few, and then after they were like every room we'd walk back. Solange, you got this one. Solange, you got this one. And the first one they gave me, I looked at my dad like, I don't know what I'm going to say. And my dad gave me that look that he's given me since I was little to just do it. Because words they just come to me, you know?
Yeah.
So I went in there and I was like, some of them I was like, hey, thank you so much for sponsoring us. Like, this means the world to us. Hopefully you can help us out next time. And then the ones who didn't, I sat in there and I was like, hey, this is why you should sponsor us and this is why you should have our backs. I got the chance, let me tell you, to be in, correct me if I'm wrong if I say her name, Kamala Harris. I got to be in Kamala Harris's office, and it was mind-blowing.
I think some say Kamala.
Kamala,
but I say Kamala too.
We were talking on the way here how to say her name.
No, but go ahead. No, you're doing great.
Yeah, Kamala Harris, and her staff, like majority of her staff were people of color. Majority of her staff, and it was so cool to just like be in there and now like look back at it like, whoa, this girl's running for office.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I'm so happy to see a woman running for office. I love her. I follow her on Instagram daily. Let me tell you, I follow her on Instagram daily. I know what she's up to. And I definitely think that she's an amazing person. You know, I'm really happy to see her shooting for it. She has a really good backbone. I definitely think so. I definitely think it's going to be hard for some people to push her over. But she definitely has support here. I love her. And it was just awesome being out there and seeing the buildings. I got a picture at the White House, which was awesome because I joked with my dad and I was like, when I live in the White House, I want to paint it pink. I was like, I don't think you can do that.
Let it be a very pale pink, please. No hot pink.
Yeah, it'll
Not
be
the
the
pink
pink
of my
house,
coffee.
right?
You're funny.
No, but it's just amazing to see, like, definitely with the help of my family, with people, what doors have opened for me and what opportunities I've been given that are amazing. And I definitely thank that organization for that because that was like my favorite place I've ever visited. It's walking everywhere. You walk everywhere. So my dad and I walked from anytime he was like, okay, we're gonna go get dinner. I was like, are we taking the car? And he's like, no, we're walking. And for a second I was like, I don't want to walk. We walked all day. But you know, it's so cool just seeing the difference out there.
Yeah.
And like, especially being in the House of Representatives, oh my, that was so cool. I took so many pictures and it was so cool.
Was that the highlight of the whole trip?
Oh yeah, and being in her office. That was so cool because, you know, you see all these adults come in and with these like folders and these big men, and then you see this little girl come in, and it's like this, a lot of people may or may not think that I know what I'm talking about, but I really felt strongly about putting the LGBTQ act in there. And
do you see her? Do you see you when you see her? Is that how you kind of want to follow her footsteps a little bit?
I definitely want to follow her steps when I'm older. 100%. I applaud her. She's amazing. So hopefully one day I can get there and then shoot up to president, and then I'll invite you over.
Yeah, invite me over for dinner. I'll bring over a pizza. Did you get a chance to meet her?
I actually did not. She was out. And we were moving, trying to get to a lot of different people. So sadly, I didn't get to meet her. But hopefully one day that'll work out.
What do you think about Taylor Swift?
I like her. Let me tell you, when I was younger, I listened to Taylor Swift like crazy. And her songs, and I would like sing in the shower with my sisters. And, you know, she was it. And now I still listen to her. I love her. She's really, I think she has a really angelic voice. I love her. I think there's so many different artists out there who are, you know, really out there right now, but I think out there for the right reasons, to bring some light right now. Like, we definitely need some light right now in this pandemic we're going through. Anything, everyone coming out with new songs. You know, I think the new platform TikTok, oh my gosh, I love. I definitely think that's brought a lot of light because it's kept people dancing, moving, you know. So I like her. Yeah.
And I asked because earlier, what I want to ask you real quick is I want to ask what it's like being your age during this pandemic. This is all very bizarre.
Okay.
But the reason I asked about Taylor Swift is because she is an example of somebody who took her artist platform and then kind of wove it into some political prowess, if you will, and started to kind of get her voice out there. But yeah, talk. What is it? So this is new for all of us.
Yeah.
None of us have ever lived through a pandemic, right? But I talked to a friend of mine a few months ago, and she was like, "What must it be like for teens or people that had kids who had routines?" And talk about what it's like to go through this right now.
Well, teens at my age, I definitely think are like, let's go out, let's go to the movies, let's go get ice cream, And it's so different seeing, like, especially not going to school. Because I've gone to school since kindergarten. And, like, I've always felt like, oh, maybe I should say I have a headache to my mom because I didn't want to be at school this day. Or, I really wanted to go home and sleep. But now it's like we're not going to school and it feels like I'm like ditching because I'm not at school. And I love school so, so, so much. This platform, it's kind of a little sad because sadly, a lot of people don't like school, but I do. And I just love being there. And I'm the type of person who I can't learn, like actually sit there and learn. You give me a test and I understand what I'm doing. Online, I can't really like understand, which is sad because I feel like a lot of teens aren't going to learn anything. I definitely think everyone's going to do what they need to do, but learning, I don't think that's going to work. It kind of was sad because, anywhere you go, you have to wear this mask. And it's hard to like, because you can't breathe and, it's very difficult, but it's sad to see because, who knows if buffets are going to be the same. I love me a buffet. Going and getting bacon and fruit for breakfast is my thing.
I thought that was a random example, but go on. When will buffets come back?
When are they coming? But no, I mean, it's definitely different. It's definitely something that we're going to learn from. But my house is a zoo. Is a zoo because we have all of our children.
Mom's in the background laughing.
Yeah. Yeah,
but it's a good zoo. This is probably what's keeping you sane.
This is where I think she should have overthink children because we have like 7 children in our house, sometimes 8 when our cousin comes over because everyone is like, I'll be in my room and then I have desk in my room, so I'll put like one of my little siblings there, and then Jordan's in his room, and then the 2 girls are in the living room, and we have our cousins here, and then when the cleaning lady comes, oh my gosh, the vacuum's going off, she has to clean my room, I have to move, but then all her cords are everywhere, so it's like, it's insane.
It sounds like Big Brother, but with a family.
Sometimes it'd just be easier to go to school.
She invited me over for dinner. Now I'm a little nervous.
Be careful.
Make sure the housekeepers aren't there that day. So you miss school, and I think that for me, school, this won't come as any surprise to you, but school was a place where I could be really social. So if I was going through this now, I would be like just going nuts because I wouldn't be able to go be with my people. Talk about how it is for you mentally. It sounds like having this big family is what's saving you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Period.
Oh, yeah. Having a big family definitely is helping us out, stay on our toes. Our mom, because of the person she is, every morning, especially during online school, my high school classes wake up at 8. I mean, I have start school at 8. So she still makes us wake up, get dressed. We still have to brush our teeth. We still have to do our hair. We still have to eat breakfast. She keeps us in this routine that is like, I thought this is online. I thought I just had to wake up at like 7:55 and quickly put on a shirt and then, start classes in 5 minutes. Like, I didn't think I had to do like everything in a routine of school. But having my siblings there and having a big family definitely gives me something to look forward to because it's like when I'm so tired and I just like want this class to end because, it's kind of like boring right now. I get to see my crazy siblings and watch them go crazy and, hang out with them. We're so fortunate to have a pool in our backyard, so we get to use it and we get to go there. We have a park really near us, so we get to go to the park.
Y'all are living the life. COVID what? COVID, huh?
But it just sucks that we can't go out anywhere.
And live normal life.
And I mean, we could go out. Let me tell you, we could go out with our masks and sit on the patio. But the excessive amount of heat that is right now sitting outside, no matter what sprayers you put, are not going to keep our faces from dripping. And I applaud anyone.
You don't want to be 119 degree weather?
I applaud anyone who sits outside and eats lunch or anything with misters. I applaud.
I'm glad you applaud because I'm appalled. That's funny. Yeah, again, it's 118 degrees today. I think it actually dropped down to 114, but with humidity, so it feels like 160. You're funny. Let's take some time to talk about, because I know you came prepared, and this is
just a few notes.
I'm glad. No, I'm glad. I want people to come prepared.
Yeah.
Only a couple people have. So this is the time where I'm going to ask you, what are some things that you want to add? What might you want to contribute to this podcast? What are some things you want to talk about?
Well, like I said, I've always, been a part of politics. And just to not touch on it a lot, but just to encourage anyone and everyone who is watching this to please go out and vote. Like, please, I am way too young to vote, so somebody needs to do it for me because I cannot vote yet, but when I vote, let me tell you, I'm going to be there all the time. I definitely think that even during social distancing, I feel like people, have a little bit of a easier chance to get out, for those who don't work, get out, vote, mail them, especially when someone is trying to limit the ballots and limit money, so the ballots don't go in on time. I don't think that should let stop anyone from voting. I definitely think we need to vote. I said that I'm glad to see a woman going for office, which is why I think everyone should vote. Yeah. Because change is good. Change is really, really good. She's a woman. She's a fantastic woman, a woman of color. I definitely think that she could play a really, really big role and help us out 100%. And just, I've seen her, like I said, I watch her on Instagram. And I watch everything she does in her videos, and she sits, you can sit there and listen to someone and let things come in one ear and out the other. Totally. But when she sits there, she takes your information and she listens to you, and she, she's like, well, this is what I can do to make it better. And this is what I'm going to do, which is why, I feel strongly for her. I've watched her since before she joined. So I've watched her, and she's amazing. I definitely think vote. 100% vote because, like I said, I'm too young, so someone better do it for me. But yeah,
I love that. I love that. Vote for me, right? That's funny. Yeah. Something you'll never hear. As long as it's well into my 20s and 30s, we've always heard and seen rock the vote and get out there and vote. But again, I never considered somebody your age who's encouraging us to vote because you can't.
Yeah. Well, one thing I guess, like you could say she's dealing with right now is that they're trying to say that she isn't a citizen. Oh, yeah, Which, let me tell you, she's born, let me see, I put Oakland. I believe it's Oakland she was born in. Yeah. If you're born in Oakland, I didn't mean that meant you weren't a citizen, because last time I checked, I'm pretty sure that means you're a citizen. My parents are from Argentina and Mexico, and I'm still a citizen. So if I'm still a citizen, that doesn't mean that she's not a citizen. Things are just crazy.
Right, and what I like about her and about that is, and most people, is that they don't even acknowledge it because it's so ridiculous. Exactly. It's so ridiculous. Yeah. I will include two things. One is the fact that this nation is based on immigrants, and so even if that was the case, that anyway. But second is, I think a lot of people soon forget that. But the other thing is, I was raised by my mother and my sisters, so I didn't really have too much male influence growing up. But I've always been a firm believer that there needs to be a strong woman's voice, if not the woman's voice of all. I was big for Hillary, just because it's like, let a woman come up and do it. Watch what a woman can do.
Finally, thank you. Yeah. I feel like they have been underestimated. They need to give women this. This woman needs a chance. Let me tell you, she's going to do good change. This is a whole other podcast. Go on. Yep, I definitely think she's going to have good change, and I'm just saying it to be chill, because I get very irritated when someone is doing nothing but simply speaking their voice and speaking what they think is true and is actually trying to get a place in office to do what's right. And then some people decide to dig up all the random dirt they can to just make you
up dirt.
Yeah, make you look like a fool, and you're simply just speaking like what you feel is right. Like me, all I simply do is speak what I feel is right. And if someone wants to say whatever they want to say, that's fine. But you don't need to go out of the way and dig up dirt for no reason.
And that's a form of bullying, right?
It is a form of bullying, which she's receiving right now, which is wrong. Yeah. So Buddha bullying.
Yeah. No, I love how we came
wrong.
full circle on that, because
It
it's
is
true.
wrong,
It is
yeah.
bullying, however you look at it, whatever you
100%.
want to call it, it's bullying.
100%.
And Buddha bullying. Grow
Buddha
up.
bullying. Yep, grow up.
You know, it's interesting, again, it's why it's so important to have voices, diverse, interesting voices, but voices from the youth. Because,
Yep.
you know, I think as we get older, we start to disconnect from simple things, such as the golden rule, treating people with respect, treating your elders with respect, not bullying. And people my age, you should jump on Facebook, people are bullying each other left and
Oh
right.
my God. That next door. Let me tell you,
Oh,
next
that
door
app?
is crazy.
Oh, I'm scared of
Right
that app.
next door,
But
she's
that's not the purpose for the
it's
app. Are they bullying on there?
Exactly. No, they're just insane. They're insane.
Really?
They're bullies. Like
That's not the purpose of the app.
that's not. Like they're insane. Like, you know, people have their opinions. If you don't, my mom has told me since I was younger, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it.
Thank you. My mother
So
would tell me the
don't
same
say
thing.
it. Yep.
I was
Yep.
mantra burned into my memory at a very young age. If you have nothing nice to say,
Don't
say
say it.
anything at all.
No. Yeah.
So why do you think that people don't practice that nowadays? Why do you think that people don't know
Well, you know,
how
I
to...
feel like sometimes some people, you know, I feel like people, let me say, I'm getting my head.
Yeah, yeah, collect
I
your thought.
feel as people do things and say things. But then I definitely feel like when someone gives you the correct point
Mm-hmm.
and shows you how you're wrong in the correct way, not in bullying,
Mm-hmm.
sitting down having like a real talk and letting you know why I feel that you could be wrong and like showing you insight on maybe why your opinion or your thoughts aren't correct.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe you see like, oh, maybe I was thinking wrong the whole time or doing the wrong thing. But then because of the way you are, you don't like to be wrong, you know, so you
Stubborn.
stick with that. You're stubborn. And it's like, that doesn't really help, you know, like you're wrong, move on, you know. So I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. It's very different now. But
Yeah.
I feel strongly sometimes there's a lot of negativity. And I think that there needs to be way more positivity.
What do you think the role in social media is with all of this negativity?
Well, you know, social media is meant for positivity.
Right.
If social media is meant to be happy, to like share your lives, to show yourself at the beach, not
Traveling, cats,
Yep.
pizza, puppies.
food, fries, not
Yes.
body shaming,
Right.
not saying mean words, not saying, oh, well, I don't like you, or, you know, you did this, or, ew, you have this on your face when you took this picture. You should take it down. Or you only have this many followers. Like, who cares? Really, who cares? That really ties into letting people be who they want to be. And this, let me tell you, negativity ties into why people don't have confidence or can't have confidence or can't be who they are because they know how people are going to treat them.
So then what do you have to say to those people that you're referring to? The people that lack confidence, that are hearing this, what do you have to say to them? How can they build their confidence? What's it going to take?
To ignore the bullies. I say ignore them. Now, ignoring, people have told me, or like when I get like upset or annoyed and someone's like, just ignore. I can't ignore. Like I can't because it's just there and it's like in my mind and I've processed it and it's like I can't just let it go. Like that's just not me. I definitely feel that anyone who's watching this who needs something, they can always, you know, have someone to talk to. And if you don't have anyone to talk to, I'm here. I'm here to talk to everybody, anybody. I'm open to everybody. You know, I've spoken to so many kids, like I said, at different schools, and I keep in contact with them. And I talk to them, and I'm like, hey, just checking in. Have you solved this problem? Or do you still need more help? You know, just definitely checking up on someone. And if anyone feels like they're being bullied or needs help or, you know, especially cyberbullying, which is extremely easy for anyone to do because you create a fake account and I can do whatever to you and you're not going to know who I am, which is kind of like being a coward.
Oh my God,
Let me
find
say.
another hobby, get a job.
Yep.
Who does that? Seriously.
Yeah, mow the grass.
Yeah, mow the
Yeah.
grass. Learn
Yeah.
Spanish. Do something productive.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. So, you know, I think for me, you know, again, my mother was such a big part of why I think that I was confident at a young age. Obviously, as I mentioned, you know, I had some dips in life and stuff. But for me, a big part of staying confident is affirmations, right? So talking myself through tough moments. Like, you got this. You know, you're confident. You're the man. You can do this.
Yeah.
And you're talented. And there's only one of you. And
Yeah, my dad, since I was younger, since I do karate, you know, when I do all that stuff, my dad always tells me to have my game face on. So like with karate or with like anything that I'm scared of or I'm nervous, he tells me to put on my game face, which my game face, I go like this.
I'm like, you're smiling.
That's my game face, and it's like I'm ready, I'm prepared, and like let's do this.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So yeah, I think definitely background family has a big role to play in anyone's life, because they make you the person you are. They show you life. They help you out, and I definitely feel like without family, like I know you've learned so much from your family, and I think that's definitely one of the reasons why you are the person you are today, which is why I'm so happy with the family I am, because I can't wait to see what I become when I'm older. And then give credit to my family, and give credit to people who have had my back since day one, because with family it helps you get through anything. And for those of those people who don't have family, if you don't have friends or anyone, like I said, you have a lot of people to talk to. You look up someone, there's a lot of people to talk to. Anyone you need to talk to, I'm here. I know you're here. If anyone there needs to talk to, you can always. I
may not respond immediately, but I will respond.
Yeah, so I definitely think that taking the time to send a message or be like, hey, like, I'm going through this. Is there any information you can give me? Just like a quick, sentence, and be like, and then, us see it and want to help you, because definitely helping. And during this pandemic, besides school about, maybe 5 or 6 hours a day, what else do we have to do? Yeah. Because, so definitely reach out to someone, definitely talk. It's going to be difficult. You're going to have to push yourself and have, a little bit of a backbone to be like, hey, I can do this. I can do this. So just to people need to learn how to push themselves sometimes. It's difficult to be able to push yourself. But it's important. It's so important. So important, because, you have family, but they're not always going to be there. Yeah. So you have to be able to, build that own self-confidence and learn and, be your own, how do you say that?
I would use the word advocate.
Yeah,
be advocate
your own
for yourself.
Advocate, yeah.
Again, another thing I've learned is self-love is so important.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else.
Look, and I know that your girl Whitney, was it Whitney?
Yes.
Yeah, Whitney said that once upon a time. Yeah. But the older I get, and the more I hear those words, and when I hear those words formulated differently or out of different mouths, the more it resonates, and it's true. It's all about loving on yourself and then going from there.
Yep. And with self-love, one thing I do to remind myself to be happy and to be positive is do something you love. Like I said, I do karate, I sing, I do stuff like that. Anytime I'm in a bad mood or I feel like, for some reason, sometimes, let me tell you, sometimes I wake up perfectly fine, but then I walk out of my room and I put myself in a bad room, in a bad mood. For what reason? No reason at all. But just because sometimes I just wake up like that. And to get yourself out of it, I exercise, I do karate, sometimes I sing. To do things you love also help you get self-love.
Okay, you know what? So we're going to wrap this up, right? So at the end of every podcast, I ask my guests, A, if there's something you wanted to add, which I believe you talked about with voting, but B, trying to find some solutions for people at home to use or practice daily that's going to keep them happy. So you're mentioning exercising and singing.
Do something you love. I mean, if you love, drawing, painting. My older sister, Juliet, she draws and paints amazing. She's had this talent for forever, right? She just started actually getting paints and stuff, and she's been painting and she's amazing. So I know anytime she's stressed or anytime anyone's annoying her, she goes in her room, shuts her door, and she paints. She comes out in a better mood. Just walking outside, take a walk, stretch, dance. I like to dance. My cousin is a dancer. So he, sometimes when I'm stressed, I see his videos of dancing and I dance. TikTok, dance, sing, anything you like. I mean, it really doesn't matter. Read. My sister likes to read, which is so weird because I hate reading. She likes to sit there and read and just on her free time. We went to Mexico and she sat at the pool and read.
I know your mom told me you guys went to Cabo.
I don't know how anybody can do that. I don't know how anyone can sit there and read and just oh my God, I can't wait to finish my book. I'm not like that.
Hey, it's but you might be that way with a movie. It's getting immersed into another story.
Yeah, so, I mean, just do something you love. Anything. Find a hobby. Yeah. A hobby. Anything. It could be making coffee, Well,
I've been having that hobby for way too many years.
Yeah,
I could use that hobby.
Yeah.
I like this. So read, exercise, sing, dance, TikTok, find a hobby. These are all solutions.
Find a hobby. Find a hobby, something that makes you happy. And even if you're sometimes when I sing and stuff and they're go do something and they're sing, I don't feel like it. And it's that's what keeps me going, I don't feel like it. dance, I don't feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like draw, I don't feel like it, when you don't want to spend your whole day on social media. You don't want to
Mm-hmm.
spend your whole day on electronics because that, not everything, electronics is like a negative 1% of what you're going to find in life. Like it's just a small percentage to get you through contact. But there's so many other things that you can do. Go to a playground. Before I remembered yesterday that before I had my phone, I used to play hide and go seek. I used to do board games all the time. I used to go outside and swim almost every single freaking day. And now it's like, I have my phone, so it's like I don't do that stuff anymore, and it's like I really want to get back into that habit because it's so much fun doing so many things.
So what I'm hearing is you're going to get rid of your phone.
No, I said I'm going to try different things.
You see how quick that no came out.
We're not
She
getting
got
rid
jumped
of-
out of her seat.
I
Now.
need to talk to anyone who needs help, right? So I can't.
Good save.
I can't get rid of my phone yet.
That
but
came full circle. It's all about y'all.
we can try new things though. Try
You're
new things.
funny. Are you going to come back and chat with me in the future?
Whenever you want, and you can come to me. You can come to my house.
Yeah.
Come for dinner. I'll make sure the cleaning lady isn't home.
Yeah, you're funny.
Okay.
As I head into the zoo. And what I'm going to do is if your mom will be up for this at some point, I want to bring her in too.
Oh, my mom
She
is
probably
amazing.
isn't going to, but it's worth
Let me
a
tell
shot.
you, she ran this it's called FTC Foster, what is it? For the Children is what it is. And I grew up with that organization as well. She recently let it go,
wow.
but she fostered over, like I said, there's no a million,
said a
quadrillion,
trillion.
jillion,
Yeah.
who knows, no word. She's fostered, they've had so many kids. She's given parents who come into her organization the opportunity to adopt a kid. She gets a kid and is like, hey, this kid, this is our kid right now that's open for a home. Do you want to foster this kid and eventually see if you want to adopt it? She's helped people become parents, and she's given them the opportunity to do that, and I admire her so much. Ever since I was little, I was like, Mom, when you're done with For the Children, I'm going to take it over and I'm going to be president.
That's right.
Right? But I'm too young, so it doesn't work. But I applaud her for that. That's awesome. And my dad, he's the assistant superintendent for the Palm Springs School District. So
Right.
he has his head everywhere working with everything. So being able to do that too, they're real inspirations. I mean, they inspire me. So
I can hear it.
sometimes, you get annoyed with your parents, right?
Yeah.
But I love them. Sometimes I love them all the time. But, sometimes you just need a little break.
Oh, look, that's life. That goes. I even get that way with my dog sometimes. I think that your mom and dad should kind of co-write a parenting book.
Oh, they should. You
Let's
should
give
write
them
a
the
book.
challenge.
You know what we've always said? That what would be a good reality family show?
What?
The Signorets. We would have an amazing reality of our home following us around our daily lives. You never get bored.
Okay, so what else? What are the other ones? Bravo, Oxygen. If you're looking for a new family to follow around. Yeah, you can't go wrong. Signorets. All right.
Yeah.
With that said, again, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We're going to see her again. You can find her on your own. We're going to link her YouTube channel as well as some.
Yes.
Yeah. We're going to have that on the bio for you, as well as your Instagram and all that stuff.
All right.
So you know where to find her. And again, she mentioned that she's willing to have some dialogue with people. If you have some issues, reach out to her, and maybe she can help you solve those issues.
Oh, of course.
All right. Thanks
Always.
again for being here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you. Do your part. We love you. Love each other. Love on yourselves, and we will see you soon.